Every walleye angler loves to jig fish, myself included. I mean, if you were to poll a lot of walleye anglers, that's probably one of the most all-time favorite presentations because it's hands-on. But right up there, in my opinion, is casting crankbaits, just because the strikes are so violent. If you're casting, you're reeling, you're doing something. And when these fish hit, it's just violent. It's like jig fishing on steroids. Oh, they are strong. There's nothing quite like having a walleye just tear the rod out of your hands in 3 feet of water. It's just an aggressive style of fishing. Just doesn't get any better than that. I love Devil's Lake too, my friend. We're up here on Devil's Lake. There's a lot of different bodies of water though where pitching cranks work so well. We're joined today by Joe Finneman, who heads the fishing department over at SCHEELS in Fargo. Avid angler. He fishes up here on Devil's Lake where we're at today quite a bit, and Joe's just a wealth of walleye knowledge. He fishes all over the place, and he's a man who really loves his walleyes.
Yeah, it really doesn't get much better than this. It's one of the best ways to catch walleyes in my opinion as well. Devil's Lake is one of these bodies of water that gets written up in walleye magazines, you know, top 10 walleye fisheries in the country, and people look forward to coming to this body of water, you know, all times of the year, spring, summer, fall, even the winter time, chasing the perch. This lake is a destination for walleye and really anglers and fishermen in general.
There he is. Come on up here.
Fish.
Oh yeah, look at there. These fish have so much spunk to them. Wow, look at that. Just look how hard these walleyes fight. There, look at that. Whoa, come on. There, thank you, sir. Get him right over the side. Oh, the fish ain't done yet.
It's a nice eye.
It is. I just love the color on these fish. You get that nice dark color.
Yeah, those are pretty fish, Jason, and they just throttle these cranks in this shallow water.
Just a gorgeous weed walleye right there. But see all these fish just get so nice and dark. That's a homebody. These fish never leave. When these fish stay in one spot like that for a long time, that's what gets those colors dark. And that's the thing about weed walleyes. They'll live in these spots all summer long. There you go. There you go. I'll get the net here. Oh yeah, nice walleye. Nice walleye. They are so scrappy, aren't they? Whoa! You know, until you see a fish like this, you'd never guess that it's a walleye the way these fish are fighting. All right, coming with the net. And a lot of times you get all those treble hooks. It's amazing how it's there. There, we got him. There. Great job. There, nice work there.
Another nice walleye. Just adding to the day. We'll get her put back in the water.
Nice work.
Whew. A lot of people grow up jigging and rigging for walleyes, and boy, I tell you, if you can make it up to Devil's Lake and experience this pitch and bite, it's pretty phenomenal, Jason. I tell you, it's a treasure up here.
It is. You know, there's not many places I think where you can realistically, consistently catch walleyes casting a crankbait in the middle of the day in 3 feet of water. This is one of them. This is a pretty exotic.
It's a lot of fun.
But, definitely something everybody should experience.
Absolutely.
It's just like pitching jigs, except for pitching jigs on steroids.
Absolutely.
You're reeling faster, the fish fight a little harder. Awesome. Nice fish.
Let's go get another one.
Basically, there's good stretches and there's not so good stretches. There's weeds all over. Typically what we're looking for is areas where the shoreline drops off, where you got a little bit of a sharper, cleaner break. And so you'll see the profile on the shoreline where you get these sharper breaks, where these weeds, where you get that wall of weeds, and then it starts to get shallower and flatter. You get to those stretches, and a lot of times you're wasting your time. And so just identify those good spots and just spend your time in those areas. And so we get to the end of it, we're just going to run back up. We're just going to keep on working it here. There he is. Whoa! That strike about ripped the rod out of my hands. Look at there, beautiful walleye, beautiful walleye. Wow.
That's a nice fish. That's what we came out here to get.
Yeah, look at that. That's a dandy there. Whoa. There, look at that. That is a tank of a walleye right there. Oh, cool.
Nice fish.
Yeah, here, I'll get this fish out of the unhooked here. There, that fish just stopped it. Look at the jaws and the cheeks on that fish right there. That is a predator right there. Look at that. I mean, these fish just probably, these weeds, they just ambush everything that comes in their path. But that is a tank of a walleye right there.
That thing is huge. That thing's got to be upper 20s.
Yeah, that's a good 26-inch fish, I bet. Good, we'll get her in the water here. Whoa! You know, I threw that bait out there and maybe 1, 2, 3 cranks and just boom. I mean, it just like that bait ran into a wall. So think about that. That lure is probably about this far underneath the water. There's pretty good water visibility. These fish will come up and hit a lure. I mean, these fish, when they're living up here, they're eating all the time. And you know, I think sometimes anglers underestimate walleyes as a predator.
Yeah, I agree 100%, Jason. These fish will come up, they're whacking them.
There he is. Big walleye, guys. There's a nice one. Come on up here. Couldn't see how it was hooked. Come on up here. Yeah, that's a dandy. Whoa. There. Awesome. There. That is fun. That fish was probably in about 3 feet of water. There's a little bit of a gap on the inside edge of the weeds, and that fish just laying in that pocket, and that fish just crushed it. Awesome.
Nice one.
Thank you. That is a nice walleye right there. So this is just a classic presentation on Devil's Lake. Casting these shorelines, and a lot of times it can be wind activated. If you have a little bit of wind, that'll make these spots better, or in this case here, like today, we're casting along weed lines. But one thing I like to do is put a fluorocarbon leader. This is a 20 to 30 pound fluorocarbon leader. I'm tying that right to 10-pound braid, putting a small crank snap on there, and then in the end here I got this number 5 Salmo Hornet. But this makes your presentation a little bit more pike proof because there's a lot of teeth out in this water. The shallow crankbait pattern, it starts in May. It's something that anglers anticipate and look forward to each year. What a lot of anglers overlook is that you can catch some really nice fish in some of these shallow patterns all through the summer. Typically these fish are going to be related to green weeds, or if the wind's blowing in on an area, you're going to find fish shallow. But what a lot of times I find is that get later on in the year, you might not necessarily catch numbers of fish all the time, but sometimes you can catch some really big fish. Oh yeah, nice walleye. Nice walleye. Oh, I got a pike here too. Take her easy here, I'm gonna slow us down. Chase it. There we go. All right, hold on to that. I'll get mine unhooked.
Oh, another nice walleye.
Yeah, they are nice fish.
Oh,
You know, we're not finding small fish up in the shallow weeds. They're all
nice fish, quality
Sure.
Devil's Lake fish.
Yeah, just look at the shoulders. These fish get that hump behind the head. They're just stocky.
Bruisers, I tell ya. Fun to catch.
They are fun.
Get her back in the water. Thanks for playing.
I can remember when the Salmo Hornet really took off on Devil's Lake. It was probably about 10 years ago or so. You know, just such an unorthodox, different type of bait. You know, a lot of walleye anglers at the time, they're using shad-shaped baits or stick minnow-shaped baits that were long, thin profile. Then along comes this fatter, wider profile lure that just had this unbelievable rod shaking action that really vibrates the rod tip, whether you're casting it or trolling it. And we started experimenting with them, and you know, just something that we tried, and I mean, the fish told us that they liked it. I mean, it just became one of those hot lures that has quickly become a standby. I mean, the Hornet's only been around for 10 years, and it's already what you could consider a classic. Oh, that white bass just hit it right at the boat. Unbelievable. I just got slacklined. Oh, they are strong. One thing I've often noticed too over the years is, you know, the white bass, the walleyes, the pike, everything will be up shallow. A lot of times the white bass will even be a touch shallower than everything.
Another dandy. You let me know when you're ready.
Yep. Come on out. There, cool, cool, cool. Nice. I'll get that fish out of the net here right away. Just a handful. Yeah, just a gorgeous fish. You know, these are great eating fish too. I mean, they've got a red lateral line, red stripe running down their lateral line, and you trim that off, and I tell you what, you can eat these white bass. These fish have horsepower. There. They don't stop. They don't stop.
That's fun.
Oh, wow, is that a strike?
Wow.
What do you got? Oh, another big white bass.
Nice white bass.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Here, I'll get the net here. Here. Coming with the net here. That's a tank of a whitey. There we go. There. That is fun.
Nice.
That is fun. There. Look at that pose.
Just flip.
If I was a minnow, I would rather swim across a 40-inch pike than a pack of those. I tell you, those are just piranhas.
Yeah, they are.
Fun.
Back in the water.
Devil's Lake truly is a multi-species fishery, and you know, the walleyes get a lot of press and a lot of headlines in the summertime. That, you know, don't overlook just the variety of fishing opportunities. And that's one of the things that I love about, you know, going along some of these shorelines. You just pick a windblown shoreline, start throwing crankbaits, and just put the trolling motor down and go. And you're going to catch pike. You're going to catch white bass. You're going to catch walleyes. When you find them in that type of shallow water, these fish just have an attitude. They have a chip on their shoulder. They pound that crankbait, and the fight is intense. I mean, it's just battle with the fish. I mean, your hands get cut up. It's just as good as it gets. I mean, you just get wore out. Just the physical aspect of it. I mean, these fish just beat you up.
Oh, right at the boat.
Gave you a little bit of a bath.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's cool. It followed you right in. Here, let me give you a hand. There we go. Boy, those are nice fish. Nice work. They really add a lot to the day, don't they?
Oh.
Catch big walleyes, pike, a school of white bass. By the end of the day, you just get chewed up.
Yeah.
That is fun stuff.
They are fun. Just a bruiser. Today is a prime example of what Devil's Lake has to offer. I mean, we were on a phenomenal pitch and bite, not only for quantity but quality, on some nice walleyes up in Devil's Lake. Just a classic example of what you can have up here if you put some time and effort in and find these fish. Oh, nice one here, Jason. All right. Yep, there we go.
Let me get the net here for you. What do you got?
I don't know, I haven't had a peek yet.
Staying down nice.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, nice walleye.
Yep.
Nice walleye.
Yeah, she's digging.
they just don't want to come off that bottom.
Not ready to give up yet.
Oh, that's fun.
Here she comes.
That's a nice one.
All right, I'll bring her into the net here.
There we go. There, nice one. There.
Another nice one.
Yeah. Weed walleyes. Wind walleyes. There's a lot of reasons why they're shallow like this on this lake, but fun way to catch them. It starts in May, goes all the way through the summer, really. Switched up here. I've been running a number 5 Hornet all morning. I just switched over to a number 5 SDR Hornet. You can see here it's got a little bit longer bill. So this dives just a few feet deeper than a traditional Hornet. And I like to mix that up once in a while when I'm casting these shorelines. And the thing about these shoreline patterns, these weed patterns in particular, is that these weeds are growing fast through the summer. And so basically every time you fish these locations, you have to relearn them. As far as the right bait, the right casting distance, the right casting angle, just so you can get your bait in front of these fish. And so you can imagine you've got a profile coming off the shoreline, these weeds start to reach up towards the surface, and so that window of open water becomes less and less as the summer progresses, and the weeds will typically grow deeper as the summer progresses. And so it's just trying to figure out that right angle. A lot of times mid-late summer, these weeds start to really grow up. I'll actually push the nose of the boat in right on top of the weed bed and actually cast parallel along the weed bed and just cast right into the open pockets and those lanes that I can physically see. Just a matter of trying to match up the right bait with the right angle so you can get that lure to run in front of those fish. And so it helps to visualize where those fish are in that weed bed. There he is.
Got a good one on, Jason?
Yeah, it's a dandy walleye right next to the boat. Oh, come on, come on. This is a big girl here. Look at this one.
Oh, nice. Nice.
That is a dandy of a walleye. Look up there, look at that. Look at the shoulders on that fish. Come on up. Oh yeah! That is a dandy. Woo!
Good job.
Oh, that is cool. Cool, that fish came up. I saw that fish come up right up underneath the boat and it just nailed that crankbait. That is just awesome.
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh wow, you can't even see that lure. Look just how buried that Hornet is. There. That is a walleye.
That thing is a toad. Another one.
Oh, they just scrap. That was such a cool strike right there. Awesome. We'll get that fish in the water. Woo! That was awesome. Catch fish that size, that shallow water, that close to the boat. My goodness, that's as good as it gets.
That's fun.
Makes your whole body shake when a fish like that comes up in front of you and eats it.
Walleye knees.
I can guarantee a lot of the shorelines that we fish today probably haven't been fished in a long time. Everybody's out on the structure fishing that classic walleye bite, and they're catching fish doing that. So often anglers get frustrated when these weeds grow up and they start to reach the surface. A lot of times people will quit fishing the weeds. In a lot of cases they become easier to fish because you can physically see them. A lot of times I wasn't even looking at my depth finder. I was just watching the weed line edge and just casting along that weed edge so that crankbait would run right along the edge. And I mean, year in and year out, that's how we catch so many big walleyes on Devil's Lake. There he is.
Another one, Jason.
Yep. Whether these fish are laying is pretty predictable. Wherever you got a nice wall of cabbage coming up, where you just got that nice sharp defined edge, that nice break line, these big walleyes are laying right in the bottom of it. Is another good walleye. Look at here, look at here. Whoa.
Wow. That's a dandy. Mm.
There, thank you, sir. This cabbage is one of the first weeds to die in the fall, but in the summertime, you can see that it just grows up nice, just forms a nice canopy, just a nice wall that attracts a bait fish. And not too far behind, you're going to find walleyes just like this. You're going to find fish relating to this type of structure most of the summer. So definitely one of the funnest opportunities I know of to catch a walleye on this body of water.
Yeah, I just love Devil's Lake.
Oh, I love Devil's Lake too, my friend.